What is up, people? Donna here, and today we're going to talk about my Adobe Lightroom workflow and how I edit my photos. Basically, I'm going to be giving you guys the recipe to the secret sauce, and I hope you like how it tastes. That was so weird. Why do I even talk? Just run the intro. So today we're talking about Adobe Lightroom and my workflow inside it, how I get through things a little bit quicker, the best ways that I think to get from start to finish on editing a photo. And just to make it a little bit more special than just me editing photos, today is going to be the first video in a series that I'm going to call Editing Other People's Photos, where instead of editing my own photos, which I do all the time anyway, I reached out to another photographer that I really like and I got some of their photos so I can edit those ones instead. Today's today's featured photographer is a fellow YouTuber by the name of TRANSIENT.
What's up, guys? I'm Travis Transient. Stoked to see what Donna comes up with. If anyone needs me, I'll be being Canadian out here in the snow.
And since he's a boss at making awesome photography and Lightroom tutorials on YouTube, he's also going to be doing a video where he edits one of my photos. So I sent him a bunch of photos. The link is right up here, or you can head down in the description, it'll be there. Check that out at the end of this video. Let's head over to his channel and leave him Ferris wheel emojis in the comments section so he knows you came over from this video. Anyway, I think that's quite enough talking, so let's hop right over into Lightroom. So generally, I feel like Adobe has done a wonderful job of laying out Lightroom in the way that I like to edit. So if you look over on the right-hand side in your Develop module, you'll see Basic, Tone Curve, HSL, Split Toning, Detail, Lens Corrections, Transform, Effects, and Camera Calibration. And generally, if you go down that list in that order, you're generally going to be pretty good. I do switch up a couple of things. There are some things that I do at the start, and then I basically go through that list. So to start off with, I picked this lovely photo, a couple of boats in the water, and since I know I'm going to want to post this to Instagram, I definitely want to get a different crop because right now we're in landscape and I want to be in portrait 5x4. So the first thing I want to do is pick which part of the photo I want to do. So I go over to my crop, I'm going to hit 4x5 and hit X, which is a trick I actually learned from Travis. And I'm going to try and kind of line this up here where I want it. Maybe let's put that boat right in the middle. Hit enter. And it's taken. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to the Transform tab and I'm going to hit Auto. And generally I find that Adobe Lightroom does a pretty good job of lining things up. This one I thought might be a little bit weird since there's not a lot of lines in it, but it's actually done a pretty good job. I might move my crop over just a hair to put that boat back in the middle, but I think that looks pretty good. So toggle it to check it out. Bam, looking awesome. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the Basic tab and I'm going to hit Auto and just see what Lightroom does with it. Bam! Instantly, it's already doing most of the things that I think a lot of people would do. For example, with like landscape photos, if you watch a tutorial on YouTube, a lot of people, they're gonna say, bring down the highlights, bring up the shadows, all of that kind of stuff. Lightroom's smart enough in this case that it seems to have done a lot of that for us. So I'm feeling pretty good about that for now. I'm gonna mess a little bit with the camera calibration. We're gonna try and get a little bit more of that kind of teal in the blues. I'm gonna pull my blue primary down a little bit and then balance it out by pulling the red primary up a little bit. That's looking pretty good. We got a little bit more teal and then some kind of nice orangey tones up in here. Now at this point, this is where I start going top to bottom. So I'm gonna hit the Basic tab and I'm gonna start messing with some things. So my exposure, feeling like maybe it's a little overexposed, so I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, pull back on the contrast a little bit. Highlights are pretty darn close, maybe just a little bit lower. I'm gonna smack my shadows all the way up and bring out a lot of that detail, something like that. Whites, let's bring those up a little bit. I like to get a lot of my contrast with my whites and my blacks. Let's bring this up just a little bit. There we go, that's feeling good. Some people think it's a little bit weird, but I like to use my clarity to make things pop a little bit. Things are looking pretty good. Now, a little trick that I like to do with my vibrance and saturation to kind of give it a, I don't know, it kind of feels vintagey kind of to me, as I bump my vibrance way up and then I pull my saturation way down. And then anything else that I want out of saturation, I'm actually gonna get in the HSL tab. For now, let's head to our tone curve. So with the tone curve, typically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop a couple of points, bring up my blacks a little bit, give it a little bit of a vintage thing, create a little contrast here by pulling the shadows down, bump up the mids, a little bit in the highs, and And then I'm gonna pull the very, very highs back a little bit just so we don't get that super white clipping. It kind of makes it feel digital, and I wanna go a little bit of that film feel for now. So far we've got a pretty cool look. It's got kind of a vintagey kind of thing with the like desaturated look. If we flip back and forth. So here's our before, and here's our after at the point that we're at now. I'm gonna move on to the HSL. So I wanna give my yellows a bit more orange. I'm gonna bring this down a whole bunch. My aqua, I'm gonna make a little bit more green so it looks nice with those trees. And then my blues, I'm gonna bring down a little bit so they're a little bit more teal, just like that. Flip over to saturation. The yellow, I'm actually gonna pull back a bunch. That's gonna help with our kind of desaturated look. And then what I wanna do is I wanna really make the green and the blue pop. So I'm gonna push my green up and my aqua up. And then in luminance, I'm gonna make my greens a little brighter so those trees pop, and my aqua's a little darker so that our water is nice and dark, I guess. Looking pretty good. So here's our HSL changes. Pretty minimal, just some subtle changes. We're gonna head over to split toning. And split toning, if you hold Option and do your hue, it'll automatically turn your saturation all the way up so you can see what color you're working with. Normally I would bring up a little bit of a reddier orange, but this specific time I wanna bring up a bit of a more yellowy orange, and I think it's gonna give us more of that vintage kind of feel. And just a hair on the saturation. And then in the shadows, I wanna bring up kind of a greeny blue. Something like that. And just a little bit. And then I'm gonna mess with the balance until I want a little bit over to the right here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now moving down to detail. I kind of want this to have a lot more sharpness to it. And some people think that the sharpening in Lightroom, you know, should be something that you use sparingly, but especially on like Instagram and stuff, you're never gonna be zooming in way that much to be able to see the sharpening. So I like the way it looks, so I'm gonna crank this up a little bit, something like that. And then I'm gonna mask it a bunch too, like a lot. So if I hold Option and change the masking, I can see exactly what I'm leaving, and I am going to crank this way up, somewhere in there. I think that looks pretty good. Now something that I'm gonna leave out for now is lens correction. Sometimes I mess around with this if it's on my camera. Normally you can just enable the profile correction and whatever built-in lens profile, it'll automatically do it. But in this case, it's not seeming to pick up, and I haven't asked Travis what lens he was using. But for the most part, because I'm cropped in, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of vignetting and there's not a whole lot of distortion. It looks pretty good to me, so I'm just gonna leave it. Now what we're looking at doing is basically fine details. So there are two things that I wanna do here. I want to make this boat pop a lot more, and I want these trees to be a lot more sharp. So he shot it at, it looks like f6.3. So there's like a decent amount of like the depth of field where we've got sharp things in the foreground and the background, but I feel like these trees could be a little bit sharper. So I'm going to mess with those just a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to use the brush tool, and I'm basically going to draw over the trees. I'm going to hit show selected mask overlay. You can also hit O, and I'm just going to start to kind of paint over the area where I want it. So all these trees, and then this big mountain guy here, that should do the trick. So I'm gonna bring up the exposure a little bit. I'm gonna bring up the clarity, and that's just gonna make it pop nice. I'm gonna try the dehaze and see what that does for me. Sometimes that'll bring out some of the dark tones. Yeah, that's nice. And then my sharpness I wanna bring up too. Something like that. So before the mask, and after. So it's just making that background seem a little bit sharper. So yeah, I'm really digging that. And then the other thing that I want to do is make this boat pop a little harder. So I'm going to grab a new brush, and I'm going to zoom in and paint on this. I'm going to hit O so I can see where I'm painting. I really want to separate it from the background, so I'm trying to be careful about where I'm painting. Zoom back out, it's looking pretty good. Hit O again. And then the first thing I'm gonna do is bring up my exposure on that. Just make it pop. Maybe bring up my shadows a little bit more, get some more detail in there. And basically we're at the point now where I want to just kind of look over the picture one more time and decide whether I'm feeling good about everything. I think I'm gonna head back into the curves here. Pull down these shadows a little bit so that those trees pop a little bit more, and maybe pull up the blacks here so we get a little bit more of that vintage vibe. I'm gonna go back into basic and pull down my saturation just a little bit. Again, trying to go for that kind of vintagey looking thing. And voila, I think we're done. So that is my Adobe Lightroom workflow. Like I said, I think they've set it up pretty well on the right side of the develop panel there, where you can just kind of go one after the other. I do check a couple of boxes off before that, but then generally I'm just working through the way that they've set it up for me. I think that it's a really intuitive workflow. Hopefully you learned something out of this. Again, go make sure you check out Travis Transient's channel. Make sure to subscribe to him. Check out the video that he did editing one of my photos. I'll link it again right here, and again, like I said, it's in the description below. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a like on this video, it really does help a lot, and I'll see you next time.